Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy new moon, too. It's so great to be here. I feel so much better than I have in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. Hell, maybe even 2 years. I don't know. So I think that's a good omen for the next year coming up. I have a lot of really fun things for the next year. And I think it is because it has that like sixth energy, that Venus energy. So this year coming up for me is going to be a year of love and the lovers. So it's going to be exciting. I'm kind of jazzed. But I did want to wake up this morning, or hell, this afternoon. What time is it? Yeah, oh my God, it's 1 o'clock. I've been in bed for like hours, but I do want to wake up and pass on some messages. Some things came through already, but I am going to use cards today to kind of see what re-emerges, I guess. I've had a lot of thoughts, been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of writing and a lot of creating. So I'm excited to see what comes forward, and I'm a little braver this year than I probably have ever been in my entire life. So we're going to get to it. One of these days, too, I'm going to get like a double camera so y'all can see the cards and me when I'm talking. I love tarot. I'm not totally stuck on it, but I love it as a teaching tool and as a way to get messages out. So that's kind of how I'm transforming the way that I use the cards and the way that I'm like doing a lot of this kind of work. So let's see what comes up. I've already said my prayers and did my meditations for this morning, or this afternoon. So we're going to see what comes up. I'm going to start with the oracle cards. I've been getting some of the same ones over and over again. Let's see what happens here. Ew, that's a lot. We're going to take them all, right? So we've got, oh my God, that's amazing. This is the year of love, and there she blows. Oshun, she's almost home. So there's fearless love with Oshun. We have Ala, the goddess of, I forget exactly where, but this one's representing grief in this particular deck. This is a beautiful deck by Abiola Abrams. He does wonderful. I love this work. And Atet, worthiness, which I think is quite beautiful. And then we've got soul forgiveness. She's gorgeous. So, yes, I love this stuff. Okay, so anyways, let's see what messages come up in the tarot. We're using the Urban Tarot today by Robin Scott. It's a new cool deck. Sometimes I love this deck and sometimes I really don't like it, but I've been feeling it lately, so we're just gonna go with it. See what comes out. Whoa, 4 is the number. Usually my number is 3. Today it seems to be 4. It's a lot of reverse energy. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So we've got the Princess of Cups in reverse. The card here, they're calling it Fortitude. This one is also in reverse. You can see that. 6 of Pence and the Knight of Cups upright. So this is really interesting. The first thing that I'm getting right off is this Knight of Cups. In this particular deck, Homeboy is a total seducer, right? And Knight of Cups can tend to be that. Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands have not so great reputations, especially in reverse or withheld energies, for being very surface kind of lovers. They're very like, Knight of Cups is more of your like your Don Juan, where he kind of comes in, makes you feel all good inside, but really he ain't about that life. He's not really trying to have a relationship. He just wants to make you feel good. He gets off on making you feel good about how he makes you feel, kind of thing. Knight of Wands can be that way kind of too, except Knight of Wands invokes like a lot more energetic, passionate action, and it can be a little bit more dangerous when it's unhealthy because it makes you feel like something's going to happen. Like the Knight of Wands makes you feel like you want to do something about what you feel, right? So you'll think that you're in a relationship with this kind of a person, or there's some level of commitment, and it's just not there at all. Anyway, the reason why this is coming up is because, especially when we're talking about soul forgiveness from the past and grief, a lot of us went through this, and I went through this in various different ways, where you're looking at a particular situation and you think it's what you want, or you think it's everything that you need, or whatever, and really it's not quite that. Like there's something illusionary about it. And so you're either over giving or under, or more likely over giving to the situation. But this year they're telling you to kind of go with it. This particular energy, along with this Six of Pentacles right here, is telling me that this year is less about worrying whether or not that's happening, right? It feels like to me this is a situation where we've all learned our lesson about illusions. And so this could be a situation, especially this year, being very much more balanced and sane in the energies. It's more so about not letting what happened in the past color or project or have an illusion on what's going on going forward, if that makes any sense. And so really taking the time to like look at what's in front of you rather than looking at what happened and then projecting that information on here. If there's nothing immediately happening, if there's nothing immediately, bells going off kind of thing, then there's no reason to bring the past back up front. And I think the reason of that has a lot to do with the fact that in order for us, especially people who are, if you're doing any kind of light working or teaching or healing or whatever that might be for you, even just your work could be great, very much so of service to humanity, whatever your job might be. I think it's something like a message from the Holy Spirit that's really asking for us to open ourselves back up. And I think that's happening because in order for us to be in a more balanced society, everybody, if the people who are doing wrong, and then all the light workers are like, then that's, everybody's in a state of fear, right? Like you can't do that. And I use light workers very loosely. I don't know much about the whole provenance of that stuff, but I kind of understand that that's what the language that people use to describe themselves in this particular area. You don't want to withhold. And I know for me that's been very, very difficult. I'm not the best when it comes to vulnerability because, again, I've been vulnerable in the past. It has not worked out. But the thing of it is not to say that that's going to happen in the future, to carry that with me. Whatever lessons were learned in the past have been learned. And you can trust that it's something that's part of who you are, and it's part of your psyche, and it's part of your level of discernment and understanding now. And so you can let that sit as part of your integration and not necessarily be constantly like with your head on a swivel or looking around your shoulder or double checking everything and everybody. It doesn't mean to just completely like say, whatever, but it does mean to say, open up again and trust that what you've learned and will remember, and trust in literally like the divine spirit to kind of guide you through so that you can properly do your work and do your work in a way where you're much more open. So I'm going to get a little bit more here. I want to know more about this fortitude because this is the Nine of Wands. It's been coming up a lot for me because I am very like, I don't want to get back into the game. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do anything. And there it is again. Damn. Woo. Stop overprotecting yourself. Find enjoyment and gratitude where you are. That's fantastic. There's something about that, y'all. So if anything, even though you're trying to protect yourself from the past or trying to protect yourself from things that may happen to you or that you feel will happen to you in the future, you're more likely to end up back in that same situation if you move from fear. And I think even this morning, I got like another kind of message about that. I've been seeing people more spiritual kind of, I don't even know what we want to call ourselves, the collective, I have no idea. But people saying, I'm not going to be enrolling myself in VR. I'm not doing anything with Meta. I'm not doing this or that. And it's like, I hear you, that's cool. Except again, what happens if everybody who's using that particular playground is playing in that world and they're not balanced and they don't have information and they're not carrying light and they're not in their integrity and they're not holding themselves accountable because there's nobody else there to police them because we've all decided we're just going to sit in the real world. We're not going to do anything with VR and like drink our carrot juice because we don't want to participate. It's one of those things that we have to really start paying attention to. And it's something that I've even had to break myself from on a small level. Like sometimes when like popular movies come out, I'll be like, oh, I'm not watching that. Cause like if I see everybody watching it, I just assume it's stupid or goofy or whatever. And I don't want any parts of it. And, there's some merit to it. But overall, I think it's something that I have to move out of, and it's something that we all have to move out of and start participating. Really, this is what this other Three of Cups is like participating with everybody, no matter what their quote unquote state of consciousness or awareness might be. Because part of the reason for us even having these other heightened awarenesses or consciousness is so that we can also teach other people and bring them along, but also so they can teach us. I mean, it's not like, you know, there's no ups or downs. It's not like, oh, I'm a better, higher person because I've had these spiritual awakenings or whatever. It's like we all have to learn from each other. We're all really on the same level in different aspects of our lives. And so we can't just separate ourselves because we've had some overwhelming psychic or spiritual experiences from the rest of the globe. It's really important for us to kind of get back out there and be fun and light and easy and friendly again, because, you know, most of us have had our hearts broken, and so we've decided, you know, I'm done with life, I'm done with interacting with all people, but we just can't do that. And lighter message, this is the year where we don't have to really. There's a lot of like really beautiful energy with Oshun coming out first. This is going to be gorgeous. So I think that's pretty much it. I feel empty, but I'm going to get one last word and see what else might come out. I'll get another love goddess, or I don't know what, I shouldn't say love goddess, it could be anything. Yes, expect miracles. So beautiful. So yeah, I don't know. There's no reason for me to go on too long. I'll keep it short and simple. That way, just remember, don't bring the past to the present and don't project anything on the future. Just live, trust, see, you know, use your discernment in a way that is healthy for everybody involved. Use your discernment from a spirit of love and not from a spirit of fear. I think that's really important. And the last thing I'll say about participating in, like, let's say, popular trends, or on the note of that VR stuff, you know, just because we might have gotten to a certain level in our discernment up until this point doesn't mean that that's all that doesn't mean that that's our total capacity. And if we decide to opt out of moving forward and opt out of life in general, the world will begin to move and to morph in different ways. And if we're not actively participating in that, whatever levels of discernment we might have will be weakened, because it's like lifting weights. You know, after a while, you can only get as sharp as you've used that muscle. That muscle can only be as sharp as strong as it's been used. Excuse me. So, you know, just be aware of that. Just like, you know, you've been raised in your psychic awareness or whatever, everybody else has been too, for better or worse. And a lot of even little scams and things that people are pulling, a lot of the brute force mechanisms that, let's say, I don't know, evil force or whatever, people doing bad things would do. A lot of that brute force and aggression that you could kind of see coming, or that would be like almost like under the surface but obvious, is much more manipulative, which is this Nine of Cups kind of coming up again in the opposite direction, which is like, this stuff is gonna get kind of crazy. And the proliferation of information, whether we're talking about just basic stuff, VR, AR, you know, whatever new tactics people might have learned, because some of us learned lessons and decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go in this different direction. Others of us learned, you know what, the way that I deceived the last time, I'm going to do that better. Okay. And so, you know, really making sure that you're keeping up with what's going on so that you can be as powerful and as sharp as you are, is the most helpful thing to do. Closing yourself off, sitting at home, sipping coffee, whatever, is not helpful for anybody. Ava. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to remind you of all that. And I think I'll be back in a couple of days with all the other videos for this coming month. And then some really cool events coming up. I'm doing something with my partner in February. So we're doing a big love event in February, and some other stuff that I'm releasing for people who want readings and things like that. So I do hope this was helpful. And if you have any comments, if there's something that you all want to see, something you want to learn more about, whatever have you, please let me know, and I'll see y'all soon. Have a great year.